Jared Goff is playing the best football of his career this season, leading the Detroit Lions to victory after victory. But has he been good enough to be a true MVP contender? Let's find out. The level at the NFL is so high that if you take a close look at any quarterback, you would think he is an MVP contender. So to keep things fair, I'm going to stick to 5 main aspects of every quarterback's game and we'll take it from there. These will be touchdown to interception ratio, completion percentage over expected, total yards per attempt, game-winning drives, clutch performance metrics, and passer rating. That's a mouthful, I know, but let's take them one at a time, and hopefully it'll start making sense pretty quickly. Touchdown to interception ratio. When evaluating an MVP contender, one of the most important and telling stats is the touchdown to interception ratio. It's basically how many of his passes end up with a touchdown and how many are intercepted by the opposing defense. Only the most consistent quarterbacks can keep this ratio consistently high, and Jared Goff is doing just that. Like in this clip, where Goff showcases how important the chemistry between the quarterback and his wide receiver can be. Seeing that the wide receiver has the defensive back beaten by plenty of yards, he knows that he doesn't need to throw the ball ahead of the wide receiver, but rather into an area where only his wide receiver can easily adjust and catch the football. And that's exactly what Jared Goff does. He throws it just behind the both of them because he knows the defender would still be recovering when the catch was made. But it's not just about finding good passes, it's about doing it time and time again. It's a direct reflection of a quarterback's ability to balance aggression with caution, threading the needle between making game-changing plays and avoiding costly mistakes. And that caution is the reason Jared Goff has so few interceptions this year. Here, he just doesn't put the ball in danger. He does well by putting the ball only where his wide receiver can get it. Yes, he's expecting his receiver to be able to adjust on the fly if needed, but if they are always on the same frequency, which they always almost are, these passes can be a massive asset to their games. And that's why his interceptions this season have been few and far between, often coming on tipped balls or desperation scenarios rather than reckless decisions. Jared Goff's ratio this season is nothing short of spectacular, placing him among the league's elite. Throughout his career, he's got 205 touchdowns and only 91 interceptions, and those numbers are that good because he just keeps it simple and reads the game exceptionally well. Again, notice how he only throws it when his receiver can catch the ball. This one is the most telling of his skills of knowing exactly where to throw. Normally, you're taught to throw it into the path of your receiver, but he sees that he's turning around and throws it right down his throat. And for a second there, not even Amon-Ra St. Brown knew where the ball was. He just looked up and grabbed it because the throw was right at him. In an era where quarterbacks are increasingly taking deep shots, Goff has found the balance between aggression and caution. He's calculated with his risk, rarely forcing throws into tight windows, and yet he's still producing explosive plays. The precision is especially notable when comparing Goff to other MVP candidates. The touchdown-interception ratio can be slightly inaccurate depending on the risk involved in some of the throws, and that is why this next aspect of his game takes risk into account. Completion percentage over expected total yards per attempt. Jared Goff's efficiency as a quarterback is showcased through his completion percentage over expected total yards per attempt. This metric combines the difficulty of each pass with the expected yardage it should achieve, reflecting not just completion rates, but the total value of those completions in terms of yards gained. Like in this clip, Goff shows how accurate he is by instantly knowing where his receiver is and finding a hole in the opponent's zone defense. He hits his receiver right on the money, showcasing his arm strength and precision. It was a risky throw, considering the amount of bodies around the receiver, but Goff trusted his arm and pinged it straight to him. And here again, he finds his pass even though he's under pressure. A big part of the Lions' offense is their ability to run the football, and Jared Goff's skill set is perfect for their style of play. Goff is accurate and consistent. He doesn't need to be going for crazy long balls, and instead just finds receivers in the right areas to send them on their way to use their speed. The timing is on point. Goff can just rely on his teammates to find space and doesn't need to force plays. Without the Lions' speed, Goff really wouldn't be as successful as he has been. Just look at how important the running game is for Goff's numbers. All Goff has to do is complete a relatively simple pass, and the receiver turns it in one of the biggest plays of the season. Goff's ability to outperform the expected total has been one of his standout aspects of this MVP caliber season, and he has receivers to thank for that, as well as exceptional running backs like Jahmyr Gibbs and David Montgomery. He consistently exceeds what is anticipated in terms of both completing passes and generating yards, especially in high pressure situations. The Detroit Lions quarterback has a 74.9 completion percentage, and his yards per attempt this season is a career high at 9.0 per attempt. His career average is only 7.5 yards per attempt, so you can imagine how good he's been this year. This combination of accuracy and yardage gain is what makes Goff such a dangerous quarterback and a surefire contender for MVP this season. Have these numbers been converted into wins, though? You bet. Game-winning drives, numbers, and statistics can only take you so far. The real question is, how well do you do in the clutchest of moments? And with the entire team depending on his ability to find the right play, Goff does an even better job. Take this clip, for example. Game-winning drives are rare because it's not often a team with a quarterback as good as Jared Goff is in need of a late game-winning drive. But this season, when the Lions needed Goff against the Minnesota Vikings, he delivered. Detroit got the ball with a minute and 58 remaining, and Goff, again, using Detroit's very strong run game, led by Jahmyr Gibbs, handed it off to Gibbs, and he gained plenty of yards. The following play, he goes to Gibbs again, but this time Gibbs has space, and he gains enough yardage to get a first down. For the third play in a row, Goff throws the football. He lets the defense open up, throws a flat ball fired with excellent precision, and it gets the Lions inside the 25. Those three plays to get Detroit into field goal range showcase all of his abilities, and the Lions' running game being one of the best in the NFL. Game-winning drives are the ultimate test of composure, leadership, and playmaking ability under pressure. Plays like these are what MVP is all about. His chemistry with his wide receivers and tight ends is evident in these moments as he uses different plays to keep defenses guessing. But sometimes the victory isn't necessarily on the line. It's more about capitalizing and making sure you do pull your team out of a pickle. Clutch performance metrics. When it comes to an MVP-worthy season, it's not just about the stats, it's about a player's ability to rise to the occasion when the pressure is on. This is where clutch performance metrics come into play, and Jared Goff has been nothing short of elite in this department. Clutch moments in football refer to situations where a quarterback is called upon to execute under intense pressure, whether it's on a key third down, late in a close game, or in a high-stakes situation like the postseason. Goff has proven himself time and time again as someone who thrives in these moments, making him a top MVP contender. One of the most telling signs of Goff's clutch performance is his ability to perform in high-leverage situations, particularly in the fourth quarter. Imagine how tired that arm of his must be towards the end of the game, but he does not show it at all. Whether it's converting on third and long or executing a game-winning drive, Goff remains unfazed, trusting in his preparation and the ability of his teammates to get the job done, as well as his instincts. He's proven adept at keeping the chains moving in these critical moments, finding ways to make plays even when the defense knows he's the one to beat. Perhaps most tellingly, Goff has demonstrated a high level of consistency in clutch situations. Some quarterbacks may have a great game-winning drive or two, but Goff's ability to routinely execute in the clutch sets him apart. But all these aspects of his game create the basis of this next and final performance metric, and that is passer rating. All the other stuff we discussed accumulates into a player's passer rating, and well, frankly, Goff's passing has been one of the most consistent indicators of his value to his team this season. And that's because he has been doing all the other stuff very, very well. Passer rating isn't just a surface level stat, it's a comprehensive measure that factors in completion percentage, yards per attempt, touchdowns, and interceptions. For Goff, his numbers here tell a story of elite efficiency and precision. He has consistently delivered accurate throws, minimized turnovers, and maximized scoring opportunities, which is exactly what you want from an MVP caliber quarterback. Just look at his performance against some of the league's toughest defenses this season. In the last few years, Goff's passer rating has been in the 90s, which is pretty good. But this season, he has just simply outdone himself with a passer rating of 109.9. Crazy high rating, and this isn't just about putting up big numbers and blowouts either. Goff has been at his best when the stakes are highest, whether that's in divisional clashes or primetime matchups. His ability to avoid costly mistakes while still taking calculated risks downfield make him one of the most balanced quarterbacks in the NFL right now. What's particularly striking is how Goff's passer rating aligns with the Lions' success. Even on a bad day, the Detroit Lions can rely on Jared Goff to pull them through just with his ability to throw the football. But will he win the MVP award? What do you think? Leave a like and let me know in the comments below.